The 32nd season of San Jose Sharks hockey is in the books. We'll break down the game. We'll give our own highlights of the year. And then we'll get on word with the offseason. All that right now here on Teal Town After Dark. We made it, folks. It is April 13th, 2023. The San Jose Sharks lose to the Edmonton Oilers 5-2. We welcome you to the season finale of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We've been doing this all year long, torturing ourselves through loss after painful loss and all that fun stuff. So if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. You can also join us on Twitch or Twitter right now as well. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, TikTok. Find everything at tealtownusa.com. And if you want to support the pod, you can hit us up at Venmo, TealTownUSA, or hit us up on a super chat right now. With that, I say good evening to the guy who's been with me through most of this painstaking year, Mr. Ian Reid.
Yeah, that is me, Ian Reid, talking. This is the end
of the world that knows you know it, and I feel fine.
It could be anything. It could be My Beautiful Friend, the end. You know, it just. Any this is the end song. Like we could sing it, probably get copyright striked out the ass.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
But yeah, I mean, here we are.
Yeah. So the Sharks come to Edmonton on the second set of back-to-backs. Edmonton's got something to play for, and we'll be keeping you up to date on stuff as it progresses. Of course, Vegas and Seattle playing a massive one right now, and that's tied 1-1 in the second period, which can change things all around for playoff seeding in the West, let alone the Pacific as it is. McDavid, as usual, going on a streak of plus 15 games over. McDavid's got like 17-game point streak against the Sharks, and things got early going, Matthias Janmark, the guy who didn't want to go to Anaheim, gets one goal. No, he'll get two goals. We'll get to the second one in a bit. He makes it 1-0. Then LeBanc takes a boarding call, originally a 5-minute major. Thankfully it got reduced to 2. Of course, that sets up a power play goal for Draisaitl. Go ahead.
You know what though? I don't think the LeBanc hit was incredibly egregious or incredibly dirty, but it was in the numbers. And I think that honestly, under the current rules of the NHL, the 2-minute minor is the right call. But I feel like any hit in the numbers like that should be 5 minutes every time.
Right.
And maybe that won't make me too many friends in the chat tonight. What's new? But I think from there's certain things that the NHL, I wish the NHL would take more seriously, and hits like the one LeBanc, and I don't even think it was a particularly bad hit. We've seen way worse hits in the numbers on the board, but I wish it was one of those things where it was like zero tolerance.
Yeah. It just. It's numbers. How many times did we see Pee Wee kids wear the stop sign on the numbers?
Exactly.
Come on.
It's not like I don't think Kevin LeBanc was trying to injure anybody there, and I don't think it was a particularly, like I said, under the current rules, the 2-minute reduction to the 2-minute minor was the right call. I wish that it's one of those things that I think is just really dangerous, and I wish the NHL would take it more seriously, much like I wish they would take hits to the head more seriously. But
thank you.
I think at least with hits to the head, as long as and I love fighting and hockey. I don't want to, I understand that I am part Neanderthal when it comes to my love of the game. But you can't really ban hits to the head when you allow people to punch each other in the head at the same time. So, but no, there's certain things that I wish the NHL would buckle down on a little more for player safety. But at the end of the day, you get I've said this 100 million times on this channel. You get the system you bargained for, and it is what it is.
Side note: how about that Abbotsford Calgary bout the other night? Whew, that was a good one.
That was something.
Okay. We move on. So Draisaitl gets his 52nd of the year, 32nd on the power play, which is just ridiculous, to make it 2-0. Then the Sharks have, their, I don't want to call him Conor McGregor because he's, but he's been like a McDavid of sorts here. Noah Gregor gets his 10th. He gets to double digits, extending his career high, 6 goals in 9 games. Just to ruin the lottery chances, Ian.
I mean, look at. I'm not going to get mad at Noah Gregor scoring and playing for a contract. When I look at this team and you look at some of the names, like obviously I think people forget like how many people are coming back next year, and I don't know, man. Like I look at. Do I think that Thomas Bordeleau has had a particularly good end to his season? No, I don't think so. But like, just the nonsense, the short term, like, what have you done for me lately? Nonsense around both players that I've read is just, I don't know. It's dumb, right? Like Noah Gregor, I feel like we've seen this story before, and hey baby, I wish it was, do I want it to be different this time? Yeah, baby, of course I do. But I've seen this before, man. Right. And I like a lot of people like want to like jettison Thomas Bordeleau into the sun and like, and make sure Noah Gregor's a regular on the team next year.
Oh, dear Lord.
And it's like I get it. Look, I understand that, a lot of times, especially on social media, it's what have you done for me lately? And I need to just get off social media is what I think. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like I'm happy for Noah Gregor and I hope that it turns him into a contract. I just hope that contract isn't here.
At this point, yeah. Because we've seen it all. Like great for you, Noah. Nothing wrong, nothing against it. Maybe Edmonton will pick you up next season.
I think someone will pick. Look, someone will give him a chance. Like I'm not advocating for the end of Noah Gregor's career. I just think when you think of a lot of the names coming back next year, like when everyone gets healthy again and you have guys coming back into the lineup, like I don't want Noah Gregor to be another guy who's blocking a better player from playing on this team because, because Luke Kuhre will be back and all these other stupid guys that fucking Mike Greer signed, right, yeah, are going to be back. And like, obviously they're going to have spots in the lineup. So if you sign yet another guy who's going to just, possibly block someone from taking the next step, right, so they can score 10 goals in garbage time, well, great. Good for you.
Yeah. And it's tough. Ricky Barton-Slinger is saying Noah Gregor is bad. At best, he's Athanasiou, and that is not a player you keep a younger guy out of the lineup for.
But and that's my concern, right? Is that they'll qualify him, they'll give him another contract, and I see Al in the chat. I'm not trying to pick on Al here by any stretch of the imagination. He's like, you sign him, and then but if he doesn't do anything by the fucking trade deadline, then he doesn't move.
Right. You wish you can get a first like Goodrow. But
right, but like you're not gonna get a first round pick for fucking Noah Gregor. Give me a fucking break. Like, and again, I'm not trying to pick on Al here. I'm just calling for what it is. Like, if he does, if we have another replay of what we've seen from Noah Gregor so far, the trade deadline, no one's gonna fucking want him because It doesn't turn it on till after.
So, that being said, after one period it was 2-1 Oilers. Then the Sharks turned it up a bit. Outshooting them 12-4 in the middle frame. However, it was one of those periods where it's like, oh, crap. Bouchard gets his $212,000 bonus by scoring his 8th of the season from Draisaitl Yamamoto.
Corey Masisak had the best tweet about that.
Oh, that was epic.
16D chess move to make the give the Oilers a cap penalty for next year.
If you could only pull the goalie so they can get him out there, because the players would be rooting for him to get his other, I think it was like another $238,000 bonus if he got another point in there. So, but hey, you make almost $250,000 on that. Lucky you. Oh man. So that made it 3-1. Evander Kane would do Evander Kane things, take a dumb penalty, interference, would set up a power play. However, Matthias Janmark gets the 18th shorthanded goal of the season for the Oilers to make it 4-1, and that's when it was pretty much nothing's going right. Kostin would take a tripping call, and then just as the power play is expiring, Steven Lorentz somehow gets a puck on a pass that somehow gets through the defense and Skinner. That's the final goal of the year for the Sharks, and Steven Lorentz hits double digits. He's turned it on a little bit late too, but I think he's one that's going to be probably sticking around a bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, like when you get this injured and stuff, though, right? Like obviously that's going to open up opportunities for guys. Guys have to play up the lineup. Like I think Steven Lorentz wasn't he like the 2C today or something stupid?
Yeah.
Like it's good to like guys given opportunities to kind of perform, but like, that kind of goes back to what I was saying with Noah Gregor. Once everyone's healthy, like Noah Gregor's not on your first or second line. Neither is Steven Lorentz.
No, but I mean, we were talking Lindblom, Lorentz, maybe even Cunnin, being a part of the top 6 or top 9 of this team going into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, by process of elimination and process of guys being on schneids and injuries and such, it turns out. But after 40, the Sharks were down 4-2, even though they had dominated on the shot total in the middle frame. A couple super chats.
Yeah, let's get to those.
Jerry F., $5 super chat. Thanks for a great year of coverage. With the way the season has gone, Teal Town, USA has been a great place to commiserate with my fellow Sharks fans. Jerry, as always, thank you. We appreciate all your donations so much.
And appreciate the support.
And of course, Burge7F91 isn't the $5 super chat. Isn't the biggest weapon a GM has nowadays is cap space, taking on bad contracts for draft picks and prospects. Perhaps the best way to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's definitely a lot of things that I would have done differently entering the season, knowing what was available. I don't think anyone entered the season thinking that like this wasn't going to be the end result, right? We all came in. I mean, I remember, the first After Dark we did, it was like, okay, guys, I understand the draft this year, but can we not talk about the draft in October? We all knew what the score was coming into this season. There's definitely things that I would have done differently had I been in charge, but I am not in charge. I'm just a slapdick on YouTube. So, I think Mike Grier, Mike Grier has been a pretty mixed bag for me so far. I think that when you look at the stuff he did early on, I'm not a big fan of a lot of things he did early on. I liked a lot of what he's done more recently. So he's kind of gained my favor there, but the way the team entered the season obviously wasn't ideal. I understand why they did it, and I think we all knew the score, right? They're trying to make sure that they could insulate some of their players so that it wasn't a situation like last year where you had a bunch of guys that were up probably before they had any business being up. And they wanted to prevent that from happening this year. They wanted guys, if they were going to make the team, to earn it. So I understand that mentality. I understand that goal. But I mean, you got rid of a contract in Burns, and then you filled that cap space just as quickly as you cleared up with let's be honest, some super replacement level guys.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No. Jesse Littlefield in the chat on YouTube. We have plenty of not quite NHL level talent ready player play Gregor's minutes. Gregor and or replacement Gregor is not going to move the needle in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Like I just think it's a matter of. I just think, again, once everybody's healthy, I think it's easy to look at this team right now and see, oh yeah, they could re-sign Gregor and he would slot right here. But then I think they're just forgetting that we still have guys like Luke Cunnin and all these other guys that are going to be in the lineup once they're healthy next year. And then, where does Noah Gregor sit then? That's my concern.
Third period, Evander Kane decided he wanted to slash at Hurdle a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he was still butthurt that, he's no longer a Shark. I don't know why, but
he's just trying to get on Hurdle's skin.
Yeah. And Hurdle's like, haha, hee hee. Of course, haha, hee hee doesn't do anything on the frickin' power play. Nope. Kane would get the final goal of the year against the Sharks to make it 5-2. Carlson would take a penalty early on, and according to Curtis Pashelka via Dan Rusanowski, was not on the bench at the end of the game. We're waiting to hear something from the post-game pressers to see if anything of that is of going on. So we'll be looking out for that.
Who was that, sorry?
Erik Karlsson.
Oh, nah.
I mean, he is one of two Sharks that played all 82 games, along with Logan Couture, who somehow didn't take a puck to the mouth this year. Seems like that's been like an annual tradition.
Yeah.
But that is the season, folks. The Sharks lose 5-2 over the Edmonton Oilers. Your last goal scores by Steven Lorentz. Reimer with 31 saves on 36 shots. And the Sharks finish with a record of 22, 44, and 16. The 16 overtime losses, which essentially, most likely will put them with the fourth best odds in the draft lottery come May 8th. Before we kind of, go over the year, basically, the final thoughts on this game. I mean, I think they played a little bit well, but, and match the intensity of the Oilers versus last night.
I don't even at this point, man, I'm not here to break down games. If you're coming here for me to pretend I'm Brody Brazil and tell you how the fucking game went. I mean, what are we doing at this point? Right. Oh, talk about the game, monkey. Talking about the fucking game. No one's here to listen. No one in this fucking chat right now, as we're getting killed with super chats, and we're definitely going to get to them.
Yes,
is here because they want my opinion on game 82. Let's be fucking real here.
All right, let's move on to the super chats. He's getting angry, folks.
I'm not getting angry. I'm just but I mean,
I know what you mean. No,
but let's talk about things that people are here to listen to us talk about, because they're not here to talk about fucking game 82.
Hey, that power play. No, okay, all right. AO 1 2 3 4 5 in the super chat. It's finally over. Thanks for another season of great coverage and analysis. This was a tough year.
Yeah, and again, I cannot state this enough, right? We obviously appreciate all the support. I know that I come on here sometimes, and I know that as the season dragged on, I know there's times where I came on here just absolutely grumpy because it's this fucking season hasn't ended yet. But I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I mean, without you guys, fuck. I would have packed it in for the season a long time ago. I mean, you guys are the reason that I come on and spit fire like a dragon. And without you guys, this would be, man, I can't even express how fucking pointless this would be right now.
Man. All right, let's keep going. These super chats, this is unbelievable. I don't think we even had, what was it? If you can pull up the guy's name that donated $100 before we were on the air.
Yeah.
We got to give him a big shout out, but I'll get to the ones that are on here right now. Treybone, $2 super chat. Does anyone want to help me pack up LeBank's stuff? Oh, wow.
I will help you. Christopher Hogue. gave us a Venmo earlier in the day for $100. And we super appreciate that, obviously.
Obviously, it's a big appreciation, whether it's $2, whether it's $1.99 or $100. We really do appreciate everything.
Yeah, man, I look at I volunteer for the Kevin LeBanc locker cleaning club.
Well, with the $100, that should help us get the flight down really quick to San Jose by tomorrow or Saturday. Denver Doyle in the chat. Love y'all. Last time we see EK65 and Teal.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know where the destination. I want to see how, like, this is one of those things where right now I don't see a destination. Like, there's no destination in mind that makes sense other than like Vegas, because apparently the cap doesn't exist in Vegas. And I only say that jokingly, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see how the playoffs kind of go.
Yeah.
And then we'll see kind of like the fallout from that. And I think then we'll probably, right at this moment in time, like, I just don't see the fit elsewhere for him. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, there's no team out there that I say, oh, you know, that team probably wants Erik Karlsson in the offseason. I want to see how the playoffs kind of go and go from there.
I'm curious, and I hate to jump on it because I'm going to sound like a Kraken fanboy for a bit. Maybe Seattle, depending on how far they're going to have $20 million in cap space next season, according to the hockey guy.
But they're going to have,
and I just wonder if they get a taste of playoff success, if they think about going for a home run.
It would just be weird because they don't really like. Seattle has a lot of like. They don't have any like super big contracts, but they have a lot of mid contracts, which makes it fascinating. And I just wonder, because if you bring in a guy like Erik Karlsson, even if you like, again, like, there's obviously cap retention possibilities and everything else, right? But I don't know, man. I look at this team and I really tip the apple cart over salary wise, though.
I'm just thinking if they lose,
they've got a lot of like. They don't have a lot of UFAs though. Like, a lot of their players are RFAs. Like,
right.
And they're not RFAs that are going to demand a ton of money. I think Vince Dunn probably gets paid. You know, but I don't know, man.
I'm just thinking of teams that might have the space with, you know, where Greer maybe retains just a scotch of salary, and that might be one of them. So
let's see if we can clear out these super chats.
Yep. You know, Vince Alvarado, if we draft number 4, is that a pick of a potential game changer or just a solid prospect?
Depends on who you get. I think as much as we're all going to be disappointed if the Sharks don't pick in the top 3, I still think that even absolute worst case scenario, they're going to get a good player.
Right.
That player won't be Connor Bedard or Adam Fantilli, and that sucks.
But
really I still think
sucks.
there are some still good players that are going to be taken in the top 10 that are absolutely going to help. Like, nothing the Sharks are going to do in the top 10, drafting in the top 10, because they're not trading down. Like, stop the hysterics of like going into like the Sharks, you know, ancient history and being like, oh, but remember when the Sharks did this? Yeah, it was 20 years ago and it was a completely different league. Like, calm down. They're gonna take the pick in the top 10, and they'll be fine. Like, I think it'll be fine. It won't be super fantastic like Connor Bedard would be, but I still think that they're gonna get a player that's going to help. That's the way it's gonna be. I understand the disappointment, and I share the disappointment 100%. I do. But I don't know, man. Like, I could come on here and I could complain about, all the loser points and how they messed the Sharks up and how, you know, the rules need to change because this is how it fucked the Sharks. But guess what? The rules aren't going to change. So I could do that, and I could do that all summer. But what's the impact going to be? Nothing. The rules aren't changing. The NHL's not changing their point system.
No.
So yeah, does it suck for the Sharks? Does this whole situation super suck worse than it should? 110%.
Yeah.
But me bitching about it's not going to change anything. So instead of bitching about it, I'm going to see who they draft, and we're going to start talking about next year. As you know, as soon as like the show must go on. That is how this works.
Yeah.
The show must go on. We're going to do this again next year. We've been doing this for 100 years so far. I mean, maybe not 100, but it
felt like 100 this year.
Like this year definitely, it feels like we're a little long in the tooth. But
yeah,
like the show must go on, man. So that's the approach I'm taking. I mean, look at does it suck? Yes. Would a better point system help the Sharks? 100%. But that's not the world we live in. So that's the world that I will cover. Let's
continue moving on. Let's be on Felix on Twitch. Let's be honest. We're here to listen to Ian get the show demonetized.
I didn't swear enough over to the top.
Not yet.
Maybe on our way out I'll swear enough.
Oh, goody.
We'll hit it up.
Nick Cooper,
go ahead.
Nick Cooper, $5 super chat. What do you see in Bordeleau's ceiling as second line center?
Yeah, I think that would be best case scenario. I think Thomas Bordeleau is a guy who is going to be I think he should be a second line player. I don't know about second line center. Like I do wonder if he's going to be a guy who maybe settles in on the wing. But I like Bordeleau, and I understand that. I think I'm curious, like when there's locker cleanout, whatever, I'm curious to know if Bordeleau maybe is nursing something, or you know what, first year of pro hockey's a bitch, man. I think maybe he might just be gassed, and that's fine, man. Like I think a lot of people, especially guys coming over from playing like college where they don't play a ton of games, the jump to the AHL, NHL grinds, it's pretty significant. It's a lot of games. You're playing twice as many games. So I wouldn't look at the way he finished the season being indicative of what Thomas Bordeleau is. I would focus more on how he started the season, how absolutely on fire he was for a while on the Barracuda. I think a lot of people put too much stock into guys' rookie seasons, especially when they're making the jump to pro from college where they play significantly fewer games.
In that sense, he starts with the Sharks next year, right?
I think he gets the opportunity to, 100%. Yeah. I think he gets the opportunity to. Does he? I don't know, but I think he gets the opportunity to.
All right.
What's next?
$9.99 super chat from Teal BT. Thanks for hanging in there this year. Hope May 8th is a big celebration for us.
I hope so too, man. And that's the other thing too, right? Like it is a lottery, so even though right now it's not looking super fantastic, the lottery balls could fall our way. I am not a conspiracy guy when it comes to the lottery. If you are a conspiracy guy, then what the fuck is Connor McDavid doing in Edmonton?
Right.
Like a market like if you were the NHL, maybe the NHL is just stupid, and I could see that point. But however, if you are the NHL and you don't send Connor McDavid to fucking Edmonton, like this is just not what you do. To a market where you like Canadian markets get so little American television time, especially nationally, right? Like obviously regionally you're going to get all the games, but nationally, like they get so little things. Like you put your best player in that market, like Canadians will watch hockey regardless.
I will say that that as much crap as ESPN has been getting on it and the love that TNT has been getting, they have shown Edmonton and Toronto a lot more than NBC had.
And it's
so that's good.
Smart, right? Because I think the NHL needs to show their star players. Like they should show the star players regardless of which market they play in. But obviously, you also have to put the teams on TV that people want to watch. Now, look at again, like I hate the Leafs as much as any other Canadian non-Leafs fan, but that's an exciting team, and like
right.
I'm not offended when they're on my television because they're a fun team to watch. Like they've got some amazing players.
Yes. AO wanting Kevin to come on with his turtleneck. Yes, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but shout out to Justin Braun, who most likely played his last game tonight.
Yeah, a few few guys playing their last game tonight. Craig Anderson also calling it Kuhre after tonight, which I thought was really nice. I thought they did a nice job. It was nice that he got to go out playing the Senators, which obviously he spent a ton of time with the Senators. So, some definitely stick taps to guys probably playing their final game. Justin Braun again played a bajillion NHL games. We have some fond memories of him here. Craig Anderson's a guy I've always had a soft spot for.
Yeah.
With what he went through in his career, and look, I mean, he played till he's 41. Like, yeah, kudos to him, man.
Matched his jersey number for sure. So congrats to Craig Anderson. Justin Braun, of course, like you said, we have some strong memories with him alongside Marc-Edouard Vlasic. He had some big goals in the Stanley Cup final as well when the Sharks went. Oh, yeah, remember that? That was 7 years ago. Sharks need to hope that the Oilers and Maple Leafs blow it up in playoffs again. That'll be the push for Karlsson. Let's see here. Let's continue going down the super chat. We're going to have some fun here tonight. Dave, really looking forward to Greer's explanation on whether or not missing out on Bedard or Fantilli are worth moral victories in a lost season. But teams don't tank.
Like, I look at again. I don't want to pick on anyone here. Look at the way I see it, right? Like, I understand what Greer was trying to do coming into this season. I think they laid it out pretty bare for us to be what it was. Again, if they don't get Connor Bedard or Fantilli, does that suck? It 100% sucks. But I understand what they were trying to accomplish. Look at I feel like next season's going to be the first season in a long time we're not going to hear fucking culture change at the start of the season. And I can't fucking wait for that, because that's the one fucking phrase that I never want to hear in relationship to this team again, because we heard it for like 3 fucking years straight. And I don't think we're going to hear that next year.
Nope.
And thank fucking God for that. Look at again. I understand. Look at again. I'm not again. Am I happy that the Sharks potentially aren't going to get a Bedard until? Of course, I'm not fucking happy about it. Is that the fucking world we live in? Yes. Also, yes. So
1,000 times yes. Looking at some of the comments coming through from Twitter. Quinn says there's nothing wrong with Karlsson, even though he left the bench and didn't play in the last 4 minutes. There is no reason to lie about injuries now, right? Quinn saying that Bordelot and Robbins played their best games tonight this season.
I thought Bordelot was good tonight. And Tristan Robbins, I think Tristan Robbins did okay. Coming up, I think he played pretty decently. I don't think Tristan Robbins is ready for prime time yet, but I think he played fine, and I think it was a definite nice reward for I think the way he finished the season with the Barracuda. So I don't really have any beef with him coming up.
From Corey Massasak, the Sharks. This hurts. The Sharks won 4 times in their final 24 games this season. It was that 3-game winning streak plus the 1 shutout against Seattle, where Yanni Gourde puts the puck in his own net, were the last 4 victories of the year. Joanna Trachtenberg, good evening to you from Buffalo. Being a Sabres fan, I'd rather the Sharks win the lottery than an Eastern Conference team like Columbus, Montreal, or Philly. We're right with you.
That's where I'm at, right? But unfortunately, but that's my feelings too, except the opposite, right? Like, for me now, it's like, well, if it's not going to be the Sharks, please fucking God, don't let it be Anaheim. Like, I would rather Columbus than Anaheim. So I understand the sentiment completely, and I completely, I am with you. I would much rather him in the other division or other conference. Sorry, if we can't have him.
Yes. Denver
we
Doyle.
All the super chats we got.
We got a couple more. Denver Doyle saying this is the year to trade EK65 to get the bounty. You can get the cap off the books. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. Rob Iman with a $5 super chat. Capitals and Penguins are now going to pay the price for the championships with the championship windows now closed. Yeah, but they had a hell of a run. Pittsburgh,
Look, man.
I mean, won 3 cups in that time. Ovechkin, you're going to have the history of what Ovechkin's on the verge of doing, plus finally getting that cup. I think at this point, yes, we had that 20-year run where I think we missed the playoffs like one time. Mm-hmm. I think at this point, we would love to take 1 cup and then pay the price. Or 2.
Yeah.
We'll get into that video during the summertime.
Pittsburgh, the Penguins, like, obviously, I think they had a hell of a run. Kind of a rock and a hard place for the Penguins. I don't think Ron Hextall did a particularly great job with the Penguins this year. But they kind of, if you're going to keep those guys, you kind of have to go for it. I just don't think Ron Hextall, man, I think if he survives this offseason as the GM, I can't imagine he does. And then, I can't imagine, I just cannot see Ron Hextall being a GM in this league again. I can't see it. As far as Washington goes, I mean, kind of same thing, right? A hell of a run for them too. But I mean, look at as long as you have guys like Crosby, Ovechkin, Malkin, Letang, you have to kind of go for it. I just think that they unfortunately went too heavy on more of the aging guys and probably not enough of the younger guys to balance out that roster, either roster. And, look at older players get hurt. And I think Pittsburgh, has definitely had some injury issues this year, but they kind of, it was that playoff spot for a long time looked like it was theirs to lose, and
right.
Lost it they did. So I'm fascinated to see what happens in Pittsburgh. I think, if you're a Pittsburgh fan, I understand the disappointment. Look at, I get it, man. Now we're in year 4 of no playoffs. So, it's it's a nice run is quite the sentiment. And then eventually it's not it's well, I don't really care about that run anymore because it was 4 years ago. Now I kind of want playoff hockey again. Right. So I know, for Pittsburgh fans, I know that's probably not happy. That's not going to make them happy, but I get it. I think they had a hell of a run and something that they can definitely hang around on.
Oh, absolutely. Does Hextall and Burke last through the weekend? Do you think?
I don't think so, but we'll see. That's a new ownership group there too, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I wonder if they wait until Toronto's done to see if they do anything after that.
You can fire someone right now. You don't have to, just because you fire people doesn't mean you have to hire people right
away.
No,
exactly. You can wait on Dubas to go out in the first round. We'll see.
What else do you have?
Nick Cooper, $5 super chat. People need to realize it could have been a lot worse. They could have won some of those overtimes. They could be in Philly and Blues odds territory.
They 100%. And I think that is true. And I think that is a very salient point. Again, man, I'm not going to complain about what has been done. It's done. There's nothing that I can do to change it. So it's true. The number of times they did lose in overtime, it could have been a lot worse, because if you start picking up points in a lot of those games, you're right. You're in the middle of the pack and you're not even, and your best option is then what? Moving up to 5, moving up to 6. No one wants that shit. So it could always be worse. I will acknowledge that. It could be better, but could 100% always be worse.
Absolutely. 100%. Vincent Alvarado, who's our starting goalie next season? Let's grab a hat. We'll put names on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
At this point, Reimer's going to be UFA. I doubt he's going to return.
I doubt Reimer's back.
Boy, that'd be a PR nightmare.
I don't know, man.
It's tough.
I think there would definitely be a vocal portion of the. I don't know how you can justify it after the seasons he's had. Put all the other stuff in the to the side. I just don't think that. I don't think that you can come back with the same goaltending tandem again.
Joanna, you're actually from Boston, just happened to be a Sabres fan. Thank you. Sorry
There you
about
go.
that,
Okay.
but go Sabres. You guys, your team had a heck of a run this year. Looking forward to them getting off the schneid for the playoffs next year. So,
here's hoping, but I don't think so. But we can hope. It's going to be interesting. Look, at goaltending is going to be fascinating. Makiniemi, Strauss-Mann, both pending RFAs with arbitration rights, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Arundel is a UFA, but for some reason I think Arundel's probably going to be back. Arundel, I like Arundel, man. I know that like there's a lot of people that were really unhappy with how many games Dell got down the stretch when the Barracuda were trying to go for it, and maybe Arundel's a little bit of a security blanket for John McCarthy. I have a feeling he's back next year. Obviously, they just signed Magnus Krona, so he's going to be in the mix next year. And Ben Gaudreau, playing with the Sarnia Sting right now in the playoffs. He's a guy who could turn pro next year. It could be a very crowded crease. So I am curious that everyone they currently have, I wonder if one of those guys isn't qualified, or maybe no one's qualified. I don't know. I think goaltending is going to be absolutely fascinating for this team. I think that Kaapo Kähkönen's definitely still on this team next year. I don't think they're going to buy him out or anything like that. And I think, and a lot of people are saying this isn't an Ian original thought here. There's probably a veteran guy coming in to pontoon with Kaapo Kähkönen. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they have going on with the goal. Overall, everybody, you have a lot of restricted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
You have, you have to figure out, are you going to give Marcus Navarra a chance? He's a UFA. Like we said, Reimer is a UFA. Jeffrey Veal is a Group 6 UFA. Going next season. Andreas Johnson, who got hurt down the stretch, he's just a throw into the trade. The same.
I think he was just a cap dump. I don't think he's back. I think he was thrown in to make the cap work.
Right.
I don't think he's back.
You also have UFAs with the Kuhre, like CJ Cease, Kyle Cruzquolo, Max Verino, Derek Pouliot, of course, and you mentioned Arundel, and then you have a lot of RFAs in there, some with arbitration.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'll just say this now, because as far as the Barracuda go, we are going to, like, again, this might be the last After Dark, but obviously you have Pucknologist this Sunday, but the content never really stops. Me and Kevin are going to be sitting down with Nick Nolenberger next Wednesday, I believe. So
Yes!
Stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
And we're definitely going to get more into the weeds on a lot of the more Barracuda related stuff.
Yep, for sure. Like a Tiger with the $10 Australian super chat. Thank you very much.
Hey, I dig it.
Good day, mate. Sorry, that was bad. Stay strong, soldiers. Believe,
baby.
My donation
Believe.
to make TTG pre-draft or draft day happen. Trust us. To kind of echo what Ian said, we're not going anywhere. I know the Pucknologists are going to get on their yacht and go on their vacation after Sunday night. But I mean, I've been talking with Ian. Maybe we'll do our bracket challenge live on the air. Have fun with that.
Yeah, we got some ideas to definitely keep some content coming. As far as TTG goes, I'm sure TTG will probably be a thing. I don't think we've nailed it down completely yet, but I can't. Again, it's fucking summer. We're gonna do shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we will do some TTG stuff this summer. I haven't really. That's not official, but like I cannot see us not doing it. So.
Yeah.
So there you go, Kevin. If you're listening, I just told you.
All right, Kevin in the chat. If the Sharks hadn't won those 3 games that everyone complained about, I don't think losing the final 18 games of the season would have exactly been good for the franchise either. Well, I agree with you, Kevin. At the same time, it'd be nice to get a franchise-altering player.
Look, of course, again, man, again, I live in, again, I don't want people to get this twisted. Like, if we don't get one of those players, I am not going to be happy. It's going to be disappointing. I'm just not going to spend the whole summer crying about it.
Yeah. No, just till May 8th.
Just May 8th, I might.
May 8th, we might. Yeah, that might be it. Troy B, how do you guys feeling that the Ducks could have the highest percentage to get the number 1 pick? It sucks. Sharks finished with the fewest wins in the National Hockey League, let alone tie a franchise record for fewest home wins, and they might pick 6th.
Absolutely worst scenario, but yeah. It sucks, man. Look, the Ducks potentially getting the first overall pick would suck. I've said this many times, right? Like,
yes,
the Ducks having Bedard and like the Oilers having McDavid. Like, how the fuck is that? What did we do? What did we do to deserve that? Nothing. I didn't do anything to deserve that. Did you, Puckeye? Is this your fault?
Oh God, no.
Is this AJ's fault? AJ did something.
Well, it's got to be him. Yeah, he didn't sat through the 71 losses. You know,
you know what? It's AJ's fault.
Yeah.
I've decided that. So if you look at AJ_Strong, it's his fault.
Wait, we do have a reaction from AJ. AJ, is it your fault?
Oh, hell no.
See, he's going to try and deny it and say, oh, hell no. So, gotta have some fun because, my God. Oh, man.
Would I rather Michkov or Carlson? Man, at this point, I don't even care. I for me, man, it's Fantilli or Bedard.
Yeah.
Michkov or Carlson, I like both players for different reasons. So I'm not, I'd be happy with either or. I'm not gonna at this point, man. I'm just happy.
Yeah. It's getting the top 3 is my thing. If you can steal freaking Bedard with the 4th best odds,
I just don't want him just not in the division. Jesus Christ, not in the division, please, God.
Yeah.
I am not a religious man, but God, if you are out there, not in our division, please.
We'll pray on May 8th. And that might trigger John Root, so maybe we shouldn't. Jesse Littlefield, none of our AHL goalies look ready to play NHL minutes. Kevin saying, besides everyone pooped on the last goalie the Sharks got from Boston, and thinking that to have that later pick that gets traded to
for picking up Swayman. I know a lot of people want Swayman. Swayman
Sharks
doesn't offend me. Like that'd be fine. I like Jeremy Swayman. And let's not pretend there's no one that hates Martin Jones more than yours truly, but let's not pretend that he was just awful the whole time he was here. It worked out for a while. Problem is the Sharks don't have that first gap there. We don't always get goaltending on that first gap. It is bad.
Kind of continuing to go around the chats here. Chris Olson, I agree. Sharks need generational talent.
Yeah, man. Look at everyone. There's not a team in this league that doesn't need a generational talent.
Yep.
Even teams that already have them could use another. It is what it is, man. But again, it's out of my control now. It's out of all of our control now. I mean, I'm not gonna I've been a Sharks fan since they've entered the league. I'm not going anywhere just because they don't get a it is what it is.
Yeah. Ducks are pulled within 1. It's 4-3 Kings with about 4 minutes to go. The Kraken are losing to the Vegas Golden Knights. That's after 40 minutes, 2-1 the score there. I know we're not a part of the playoffs, but the Golden Knights win. They take the Pacific. They'll have the number 1 seed and will play Winnipeg in round 1. If somehow the Kraken can come back, they can move up and make the Kings drop down to play whoever the Central Division winner is, and that's still undecided whether it's Colorado or Dallas.
Yeah, I don't like that for them. But that's another show.
That's another show. Yeah, maybe Monday. I don't know. Quinn on 22-23. Disappointing. You look at our record and jump to a lot of conclusions, but I love coaching this group. Of course you'd say that. They came to work every day and they were fun to coach. We know we're going to get better. There are guys in here that are going to be a big part of what we got moving forward here. Sometimes it takes a little time to get out of the situation.
Yeah, look at I too enjoy being gainfully employed. We have that in common. I too enjoy being gainfully employed. Gwen, I understand.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what else we got here. Do you trade a pick for an NHL goaltender near NHL ready with team control? Maybe you're talking Dustin Wolf here. I can't see it even with Markstrom in Calgary.
No, I no, I don't know. I don't know if Dustin Wolf is the guy that I don't know. I think Dustin Wolf would be a nice thing, but like I don't know how realistic that is. Yeah, I mean, look at if you can get a guy like Jeremy Swayman or something out of Boston, I think that's obviously a nice pickup for the Sharks. But you don't have to solve goaltending right now. Like it's not something you need to have sorted going into next season. I think you need to figure out who they obviously have to have somebody, but I'm not opposed to another, bringing in another guy, giving him a 2-year deal and seeing how it works. Like the greatest thing about Kaapo Kakkonen contract is like it's a 2-year deal. So next year it's done. And if he doesn't have like a miraculous turnaround, which I'm not expecting, like you just walk away and it's over. I don't mind that until you find the guy and then whatever, you go from there. But there's no rush to find the guy because again, I don't think this is a playoff team next year.
That hurts still. I mean, to have but that's reality. That's the freaking reality right now.
You bring in Halak. I don't care who you bring in, man. Like you just bring in a guy. The important thing here is like you don't have to have, again, there's certain things on this team you need to start getting your ducks in a row on. Goalie isn't one of them, man. You're not going to be competitive for what, 2-3 more years maybe. I mean, I know that's depressing when you say it out loud, but it's also reality.
Yeah. That's the sickening part of it all. So
it's really depressing.
Oh boy. Yeah. And even Kevin saying it, as much as I love Dustin Wolf, he would not have done much better than Kakkonen for this particular team. They've made a scoring change. They've taken the assist from Peterson, so his streak does end. And they are credited EK65 with the secondary assist on Lawrence's goal.
Now you know where EK65 was at the end of it. He's like, look at bitches. That's my point. He was up that's where Erik Karlsson was last time. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. You heard it here first. Teal Town exclusive. Erik Karlsson left the ice to go and get on the horn and be like, hey, listen, bitches, that was my assist. I want all the points. Give me.
It's like 101
Give me all the money. Give me the Norris.
Does he get the Norris?
I have him first on my ballot.
Same. How much crap will he take for it, though?
I think, obviously, there's always a weird thing, like their regular season awards, but making the playoffs somehow always factors into awards. So, like, I can see where Erik Karlsson doesn't get it. I think you should get it. I think, the thing he did this season, 101 points, like, hasn't been done in 20 years?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane, man. Like, it's what he did this year is absolutely fucking insane. And I think it's, you can talk about plus minus and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, man, points are sexy.
No, completely agree. Tiger, like a tiger, too many heroes in the Hockey Writer Associations. Yeah. And we've been hearing a lot of them come out especially up
Look,
in your area.
I think he should. Do I think I will not be shocked if he doesn't, but I don't think that if he doesn't win the Norris, that doesn't take away from what an incredible season he's had.
Right.
20 years, try 30, whatever. A lot of years, like a stupid amount of time. Like it's just, it is what it is. So can I see him not getting it? Of course I can. But I don't think that should subtract from what an incredible season he had.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about his season. I mean, yeah, he got to all the 82 games. Couture got to all 82 games like the first time in like 8 years.
Yeah, 30 years. My apologies. I can't do math. It's like one. No, it's not even one.
It's 12:30 in the morning.
It's 12. It's 12:40. Come on.
No.
Cut you in some slack here.
No kidding.
I'm old.
No, you're not. Shut up. Do you have a favorite moment from this season? Besides it being over, of course.
I mean, being over is definitely near the top of it. I think that, not to be fucking super like corny, but like doing this has like been, I think, the highlight of the season for me. Like the fact that this season has been such a fucking gong show, and we've come on here and we've been able to kind of just like shoot the shit with all of you guys. Like that's, to me, like this makes the season worth it to me. The fact that I get to do this, and again, I know sometimes I come on here and I can be kind of a prick, and sometimes I come on here with the sole purpose of just seeing if I can antagonize the chat as much as humanly possible. I know I'm a dick for it, but like, if I didn't get to do this, I don't know how I would have gotten through the season. So I think that to me is the high point. Obviously, I think, again, watching Carlson get his 100th point, I was super happy that I dragged my ass out of bed to watch that, because I've been sick all week. I don't know what's going on, but nothing super serious. But I've definitely felt better before this week. But yeah, I think that's my highlight, man. Like the fact that I get to do this, and even though I can be an absolute jerk off on here, and I know I can be.
Yeah.
I can't express how much I appreciate all of you for not only putting up with me, but like watching you sometimes come on here, intentionally be a dick, and then be like, you know what? I'm going to come watch you again.
Oh, Ruben in the chat, he is soft. LA just added an empty netter. It's 5-3. Ducks fans have thrown towels on the ice as I'm seeing that. So right now, as of this moment, if NHL.com
I'm super soft. It's fair.
He's soft and cuddly. Just ask his wife. Right now, as it stands, come on, NHL.com. And they, by the way, while we're waiting for that to load up, VGK and Seattle just started the third period on that one. As it stands right now, LA picking up those 2 points will lock them into the number 3 seed in the Pacific, leaving Seattle in the first wild card. So, we're waiting on Vegas here. Vegas can get basically they just need to get it to overtime to get a point, and that'll lock up the Pacific for Vegas at eventually 110 if the score stays the same. Edmonton and LA will go at it once again in round 1. Seattle will have to wait till tomorrow, Friday, to find out their opponent, but they'll definitely be most likely headed to either Dallas or Colorado in that one there. So as for me, I mean, this was a whirlwind. I started putting some stuff here on Twitter. It all started with the grand opening of Texian Arena. Got the word that the new Sharks jerseys were available for purchase, 2 weeks beforehand when nobody had said anything. You had the Doug Wilson banner raising. You had,
Yeah, it was nice to see, man. It was nice to see Doug Wilson.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
as
hope
much as I
he's okay.
maybe don't agree with how Doug Wilson managed his final years as GM of the San Jose Sharks, it was really nice to see him in person. And I don't know how healthy Doug Wilson is at this point, but he looked good, at least.
Yeah.
For the most part. And again, like, you can say what you will about the man, as far as like general manager, but I think as a dude, like, I obviously, again, like, I don't wish anything like ill upon Doug Wilson for screwing up my favorite team. Like, obviously I want him to be healthy, happy, all that shit that goes with that. Like, so the Doug Wilson night was nice because, yeah, it was nice to see that the dude was, alive, because for a while, like, we just didn't see him or hear from him or anything.
Right.
And that was really scary, man. Because again, like, again, like, put the business aside, like, you just want the dude himself to be fine.
Exactly. And granted, for him to get some recognition was nice to see, and get a banner raised for him for what he's done with the organization. Definitely do respect. Of course, the Marlowe weekend was absolutely incredible, and we got to go in and chat with some of the guys before they put on the skates, and Marlowe kind of just letting the hair down finally, and then seeing the banner raised for the first time. So,
yeah, man. It's funny because, like, I was really anti number retirement, because I don't know, 'cause I'm a jerk. Again, like, we all know I'm an asshole. And I'm like, you didn't like, but man, yeah, like, the emotions, like, the feels, man. Yeah, that the Marlowe the number retirement, like, man, that got me in the feels, and like, I am totally fine when we do it next year for Jumbo.
Yeah, no, we probably will expect that. Let's be honest. We're probably waiting for Jumbo eventually in a few weeks' time. Let's be honest, and then we'll be doing it again next year, which will be fun. That was an epic weekend for sure. This just in: LA wins 5-3. That assures the Anaheim Ducks have the best odds at Connor Bedard on May 8th. They lose in regulation 5-3 to the LA Kings. LA assures themselves a matchup with the Edmonton Oilers. Seattle will go play the Central Division winner. Vegas, barring anything happening, they'll be the Pacific Division champions, and they will get the Winnipeg Jets in round one. So right now, Ducks finish at 58 points. Chicago's point gets them at 59. Fuck you, Provorov. Thanks for nothing, you fucking asshole. Columbus with the victory tonight. They're at 59. Your most, if Columbus can get a win tomorrow in any form, that's the only way the Sharks will increase their odds. So
yeah, they'd have to. I believe they would have to win in regulation. No. Yes.
No, because they're at 59. If they're 59, they get 2 points.
Right,
then
if they get a point. Yeah. I think they get a point.
If they get
regulation wins is the first tiebreaker, though. And they only have 15, so like, you need them to win.
Yeah,
they can't lose in overtime. Like, if they lose in overtime, they end up with 60 points. Guess what? They have one less regulation win than the Sharks. They finish below the Sharks,
and that just makes even more that
they have to
Gregor
win.
Hat
They
trick.
have to win tomorrow. Yeah, they have to win. So you need a Columbus win tomorrow.
Who does Columbus play tomorrow?
Or whatever the game is. I don't know. Who's Columbus playing?
Yeah, who is Columbus playing tomorrow? Don't mind us.
God damn.
Oh fuck. Can we get Levi to get in that for them? Owen Power to have a hat trick. Hey, Jeff Skinner, let's prove that you were Calder worthy. Get a hat trick. By the way, did you see Levi's mask? He didn't have a third jersey mask, so he just went to town on the on with the Sharpie.
You need a win. Yeah, you just need them to pick up 2 points.
Yeah, they need a win for sure. Another super chat from Nick Cooper. Thank you so much. Ducks need to be investigated for going on a 13-game losing streak to end the year. They're my new sworn enemy. Yeah, but Like a Tiger, Anaheim played some of the worst hockey I've ever seen this year. So, why are you rooting for Buffalo, Puck Guy? I'm not rooting for Buffalo. No, I wouldn't be. Granted,
No,
I love their jersey designer, Erik Bottomer. He's been phenomenal for Adidas, and I hope he gets picked up by Fanatics to have any type of respect. So,
why would you inflict Fanatics on anyone?
Oh, you say Fanatics, it triggers AJ in the chat, so watch out. Yeah.
Super chat.
We have another one.
Yep.
I thought I got them all.
Nick Cooper, $5 super chat. Ducks need to investigate it for going on a 13-game losing streak to end the year. Look, man.
I just said that.
Oh, did you? I just zoned out for a second because you made me go look up numbers, and then I was.
This is it. That tells us how done we are. I mean,
yeah. I was looking up numbers. I can't help it.
To continue on, of course we have, before the Timo Meier trade, LeBanc playing 5 minutes, Gregor playing 9 minutes, can't hit the net, and then what happened? David Quinn saying "F you" to the refs, being ejected and fined, and then the next game, Carlson has to throw his helmet because he's bleeding in the mouth. So, yeah. So we'll see. Wait, Justin Braun retired? Yeah, Ruben. His dad was on the bench tonight in.
That's classy. I think that's classy. But yeah, just let him do that.
So that was fun. So. Denver Doyle, if the Sharks get to third, I have a feeling they move up. Fingers crossed. Should we do one more tankathon before we get out of here or no? No? Okay.
No, man. We're just gonna wait for the real thing on the 8th.
Yep. Be there for that.
I'll be here.
Be here Sunday for Pucknologist at 7 p.m.
Yes.
That'll be your season that was in Sharks hockey. They'll go into the weeds a way more than we are able to or allowed to or whatever. So with that, we'll bring this to a close. In case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Apple, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, if they're still around, Amazon Music. Of course, if you are on YouTube, by all means, get those thumbs up going. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Just because the season's over doesn't mean we're going to be giving you content. May not happen as frequently as it does during the regular season, but we'll be here. As Ian said, they're going to have teal tinted glasses with Nick Nollenberger to wrap up the Kuhre season. Yep. AJ and Jerk will wrap up the Sharks season on Pucknologist Sunday night at 7. We are going to, hopefully do our brackets live on the air. That'll be fun to do. Of course,
we'll figure that out. I gotta figure out work, but yeah, we'll figure that out once we get it.
What is it? Of course, May 8th, the draft lottery. Any big news, we'll be here to break it down.
Yeah, anything that's true. If Sharks news breaks, we will fix it.
Yeah,
I promise.
And let's not forget the draft day.
Jesse has like the perfect the season may be over, but the pain
absolutely so well, Ian, I would say it's been fun, but man, this season's been rough.
It has been fun though. Let's again. It has been fun. I mean, the games weren't as fun, but there was fun doing this season. I think overall, under the conditions, I think we had a good year of content.
Yes.
I had fun. The Barracuda were fun at the end of the season when they kind of stuck around and refused to die. There was definitely some highlights to the season. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad this is over, just because again. At the end of the day, it's this show is, technically After Dark. It's technically recap the fucking game, but man, what was the point of recapping any of the last 20 games? It's been it's been one of those things where you kind of just make the best of what we're given, which hasn't been a whole lot. It's not fun, man. It's fun. I every once in a while I'll go back and listen to old shows and stuff, right? Just to see how far we've kind of come as far as like how we've done things. And man, I would love to just go back to just being absolute bitches about the power play. Like, just imagine not scoring. No, imagine your top power play not scoring be the worst problem you have.
Oh, that would
I miss those days.
That would have been great. Oh boy. All right. He is at Ian Blogs Hockey. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter, the Instagram. Plenty of people we need to thank here. Of course, Ian, I'll say he's been stuck with me for most of the season, so I apologize profusely for that. Let's be honest. The beginning of the year, Ian was supposed to be doing just Kuhre coverage, folks.
Yeah, no,
it's
but
been a little crazy.
Though? Like, yeah, and that's one thing too. Like, I do like it. I think as much as this year's been a really good year for content for us, I think there was things that we probably wanted to do that we didn't get to do. And that sucks. And I feel bad about that. And I'll call it online. Like, I'll call it right now. I basically, before the season started, like, I'd like to apologize to Mark, who was on our last show, because basically before the season started, I'm like, oh man, I've got all these cool plans. Don't worry, dude. Like,
right.
I've got plans and you can be in on them. And then, like, none of it happened. And that's not me taking a shot at the rest of the crew, because I don't want what this comes off as, but it sucks because I do feel bad that there was content that I wanted to do this year. As good as I think our content this year was, there was content that I did want to do that just for whatever reason didn't work out, and I think some people kind of got left kind of in the lurch because of that. So I'll apologize for that publicly. I wish we could have done more. I wish we could have done some more Barracuda stuff this year. But there's always next year.
There's always next year, and that's what we'll save for the Sharks too. Big people to thank, as I mentioned, Ian Reid for doing what he's done. Kevin Lacey's jumped in here and there with us, and he'll be with you for Teal Tinted Glasses. Dana Meyerson, who came on late last year.
Dana was a fucking hero this year.
Yeah.
Dana came in and pulled some serious weight, and we super appreciate her for that.
And if you had less than 71 post-it notes, you lost the bet on Sports Interaction. You throw in Mark Eisenberg. You mentioned him. Mm-hmm. This is the bread and butter for you guys with that. You also thank our newest one, Jules. Jules came in. Jules has just been coming out like fire and everything. Felix, I know you jumped in on it a few times. Erik Landy for Eric, my God.
Yeah, I was going to say we cannot miss Erik Landy, because obviously Erik Landy's another guy who's just pulled some super weight this year. Obviously, there's not to peek too far behind the curtain here, but really, like, there's only so many of us that can host a show. I do it terribly, as you've seen. With technical issues. But like, we're fine. But like, Landy's stepped up a few times for us, like, and not on top of normally what Landy normally does around here, which is significant. But Landy stepped in a few times to really kind of pull our ass out of the fire. So I always appreciate Landy.
Yeah, for sure. Hockey Jerk for keeping the Discord alive and all that fun stuff with Pucknologists. AJ, of course, torments me. No, I'm kidding. Tries to make sure I'm staying on top of my game. Otherwise, we just do not want to fall apart and look bad.
AJ, obviously, like, AJ helps us out a great ton. Like, he is not on After Dark. I think he did a show this year to help us out. I remember he did a show with me, I believe, to help us out. But like, AJ, he's constantly in the, he's pulling quotes for us and giving us things to talk about on these shows, especially, again, as we got to the end of the season, there was not, talk about the game monkey was not fun. But AJ at least, was constantly pulling quotes for us and stuff so that we could talk on air and we could, he's getting the quotes, so that we can, so that we're not trying to like be entertaining on air and not, and not trying to like do three things at once, So I think that while AJ is not on After Dark, he's very pivotal to what we do.
Yeah. So kudos to everyone there. We appreciate each and every one of you, but at this point, the 32nd season of Sharks hockey comes to a close. And
God.
And while the sun will shine brightly in the next few months as we dry out from one of the craziest winters we've seen in a long time out here in Northern California, there's a reason why we always say Teal Together. And, through thick and thin and painful loss after painful loss, and no matter if Northern California is about to be basketball heaven for 2 weeks, just know that we appreciate each and every one of you joining us throughout the season and throughout the years. We can't do this without you. There's a reason why we do it, and that's because of the lack of coverage, because, no one wants to talk Sharks hockey, but they'll more than happily talk about Steph Curry's ankle brace. So we appreciate each and every one of you joining us through these 82 After Darks. Again, we'll be back throughout the off season with content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.
This is the last show of the season for After Dark. But we're not going anywhere. There's going to be content all summer. We hope that you will come and hang out with us, even when we get into the super dog days and whatever. But we hope that you will continue to stick with us. We super appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Russell, my BFF in high school, who's now a coach in Idaho, a hockey coach in Idaho out of nowhere. The poor guy has a little goaltender on his hands. You poor thing. Go Steelheads. So appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. Again, Pucknologist, Sunday night, 7 p.m., and then much more content later this week as we get you closer to the draft lottery. The Sharks could still have the third best odds by the end of the night, or by the end of tomorrow night, and we'll go from there. So we appreciate you all. Thanks for watching, and until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you during the off season.